Hey everyone! Today I will be reviewing Isle of Blood and Stone by, I'm going to butcher this, I'm so sorry, Makiia Lucier? I don't think that's right, but I don't know how else to say it, so sorry. If you actually know how to say it, please tell me in the comments, please. Okay, so few stats on this book. First of all, it's like really, it's new library binding, or laminating, so it's like nice and soft, I love it. It was published in 2018, actually it was released, I want to say in April, so a little bit ago, by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Harcourt? Yeah. And it is 389 pages. I'm gonna read you the summary. Yeah, you know how this works by now if you're a returning watcher. 18 years ago, two princes of the island kingdom of Saint John del Mar were kidnapped and murdered in a deadly plot by their rival kingdom Mondrago. Everyone knows the story, but for Elias, Mercedes, and Ulysses, the aftermath of that tragedy is deeply personal. Elias lost a father who was killed trying to protect the princes. Mercedes is half Mondragon, leaving her to grow up in the shadow of Delmare's hate. And Ulysses is the youngest and only remaining prince, inherited the throne meant for his older brothers. Now the three friends just want to move on with their lives, but when two maps surface, each with the same hidden riddle, troubling questions arise. What really happened to the young princes, and why did the maps look like they were drawn by Elias's father, whose body was never found? To discover the truth of that fateful day, Elias, Mercedes, and Ulysses must follow... Yeah, I think I read it as Ulysses. I think that's how you say it, but I could be wrong. Ulysses must follow the clues hidden in the maps, uncovering long-held secrets and unimaginable betrayals along the way. But the truth is dangerous, and not everyone wants to come out. Oh yeah. I like this book a lot more than I thought I would. I had just finished The Cellar by Natasha Preston, and that was a really heavy book. I was like, I need something light. I need something that's not as real, scary, whatever. Because, yeah. After that book, I was in a very, like, oh my god, like, that was so intense. What do I do? I need to read another book, but, like, so I looked at my local library, picked this one up. It was like, I want something completely different. So I looked at the fantasy books, and this one was like, whoa, I'll just grab that. And I didn't expect it to be that good. I was like, oh, okay, new author, new book, we'll see how this turns out. But I had really low expectations for it, and yep, it exceeded all of them. The writing was great. The author's voice was very strong, and so is the characterization. All of the characters all but a few, had like a whole bunch of dimensions to them. They weren't just the prince, the emissary, and the navigator. They were people. They had lives and opinions and morals. It was great. My favorite part about it were the twists and turns of the story. There were just so many. It's like, oh my gosh, that's not what I thought would happen. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, okay. So Goodreads gave it a 3.9 out of 5, which is a great score for Goodreads, and I'm giving it a 3.7 out of 5. I don't think it's quite a 4. My 4s tend to be the books that I'm just like, yes, this is like the best, like basically the best. I know a 5 sounds like is like a perfect score, but that's like unattainable basically. I know I've given like 1 or 2 5s on my channel before, but those were books that just like blew me out of the water. And a 3.7 is still a really good book. Final thoughts. I don't know if there will be a sequel, but I really want one. I want to see more of these characters because they're just so dynamic and the relationships are so great. Sound like Donald Trump. It's great. Everything's great. Yay. But the relationships are just awesome. There's a whole lot of like twists, and I want to know what happens to all of the characters in this. Yeah, I highly recommend this book, especially if you like fantasy and adventure. You will love it. I know like my parents don't like fantasy books, and that's totally fine if you're like that too. That's why I say if you like fantasy and adventure, you'll love it. But I highly recommend it for everyone. Fantasy, or if you just want to branch out a little bit, it's always good for you. I try to read from all of the genres, and I try to not read the same genre back to back. I find when that happens to me, I get bored and I start hating the genre, the author, whatever, and like reading in general. So I try to break up my books. Like The Cellar was a very realistic contemporary fiction, and this one is fantasy adventure, Middle Ages type deal. So completely different, and that's how I like to read. Some people don't, and that's totally fine. I'm just letting you know how I kind of choose my books a little bit and how I read so much. Anyway, enough of me just talking. Yeah. I thank you all for watching. Oh, I love this song. Sorry. And thank you for watching. Definitely keep an eye out for my 2 projects coming up. I will let you know when I post them. The first video for the first project is almost done. I have to finish the book. I've got like 100 pages left of it. I'll probably finish it, if not this afternoon, tomorrow. Yeah, and then I'll make that video, get it out. I'm so excited to show it, like, reveal. I don't know if you will like love it, but I'm excited. Okay, sorry. Thank you again for watching. I will see you next time.